All right, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We've got 15 games on this Friday. We're going to talk about every single one as always, and I've got 5 best bets for you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It is free. It helps me a lot. Comment down below with your favorite plays today. All right, recap of yesterday. We went 4-2. Everything was a half a unit, so we went up 0.82 units. Good day. We'll take it on what I just felt like was a weird getaway day. We had Kevin Gausman over 5.5 Ks. He nailed that for us at plus money. Hunter Brown over 6.5 Ks. He got the job done for us. Mariners on the money line. GG. Zach Pops. I would assume he's getting demoted to the minors after one hell of an inning where he gave up 8 runs. So good job there. Athletics Tigers over 8.5. Tigers scored 8. Athletics scored 0, so got the hook there. We had the Mets on the money line, pretty sweat-free, 4-0 win there, and we had the Rays on the money line, pretty sweat-free win. So overall, good day, just a fantastic week, man. We've been absolutely rolling. We're up somewhere near 12 units this week, so really fantastic week, but let's keep the momentum going. Let's jump into this slate. First game, Mets and the Pirates. David Peterson going up against Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller is 1-10 on the season, has a 4.5 ERA in 10 home starts. Peterson is 5-3 on the season with a 2.98 ERA. That does jump to 3.86 in 7 away starts. Don't love the splits. Peterson lefty on lefty, not amazing, giving up a 2.73 average over the past 30 days. 2.27 to righties. Now, Mitch Keller, despite being 1-10 on the season, his splits are fantastic. He's given up a 2.09 average to lefties, 2.25 to righties. Strikeout rate just sucks. It's 13% to lefties, 16% to righties. That said, Peterson can't strike out a righty. 14% K rate. Runners in scoring position, Keller struggled a little bit with a 291 average. Peterson's at 253. We did see the Mets hit a little bit. Pitch mix looks pretty bad for Keller. That said, you've got the Mets coming off a divisional series and then traveling on the road. If we look back over the last 2 years, they just haven't done well in this spot. They're 1-4, 0-1 this season. Tend to gravitate towards the under. I do think there's value on taking the under 8.5 or taking the Pirates plus 1.5 at minus 120. It's going to be 84 degrees, but there is a 48% chance of rain. So that's really the only thing turning me off of pulling the trigger on Pittsburgh. I do have it on one of my personal slips, but the rain scares me for the over-under. There is going to be a 7-mile-an-hour blowing in. So I do have Pittsburgh plus 1.5. I think there's just some value there. Just given the spot where the Mets are, they kind of had to unload their bullpen after Griffin Canning hurt his Achilles. He might have ruptured his Achilles. These ruptured Achilles are happening everywhere, but it might have done that. So he might be done for the year. So the Mets had to absorb a decent amount of bullpen arms. I just don't like where they're at with their arms. So that would be where I'm at with that one. Next game is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. Ryan Pepiot going up against Tomoyuki Sugano. I don't back Sugano. Haven't backed him once this season, and I won't this time too. Give me the Rays on the money line as official play. Ryan Pepiot has been outstanding on the road. He's got a 2.83 ERA in 5 away starts. He's got a 3.04 overall, pitching in a very difficult park at home. He's just looked fantastic. Sugano has a 3.5 ERA. It jumps slightly to just under 4 in 7 away starts. Now, this Orioles bullpen has been phenomenal. They've actually been one of the best bullpens over the last 30 days, believe it or not. This bullpen was terrible to start the year. Rays bullpen is also good. So these are 2 top 10 bullpens. We've got an over-under of 9. It's going to be 75 degrees. There is a 35% chance of precipitation. And we've got an 8-mile-an-hour wind that's going to be slightly blowing in. But Sugano here, I just can't trust him, man. His home runs per 9 are 1.51. He's got a 1.2 whip, and you've got a Rays team that's just hitting the daylights out of the baseball. So I could see the Orioles bats going cold here in the first game. So give me the Rays on the money line as one of our best bets here. Next game is going to be the A's and the Yankees. It's going to be Mitch Spence taking on Will Warren. Will Warren is 4-4 on the season. Spence is 2-2. ERA-wise, Spence has a 3.84 ERA. Will Warren 4.66. Now, Spence on the road has been outstanding this year. 2.10 ERA in 12 away starts. Will Warren sub 4 ERA in 7 home starts. Don't love his hard hit percentage, giving up a 48% hard hit percentage. Can't really get down with that. Runners in scoring position, he's given up a 3.02 average. We'll tell you, he's going to town K and righties. Last 30 days, he's got almost a 40% K rate against right-handed hitters, giving up a 179 average. However, lefties are hitting 321 off of him, and he's not striking them out. Mitch Spence, on the other hand, kind of a 349 average against lefties. Not going to K a bunch of guys, giving up a 182 average against righties. Do I want to get behind the A's? Yeah, absolutely. 70 degrees, 17% chance of rain, 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in. I think the wind blowing in gives them a fighting chance. However, I'm a little scorned after they couldn't score a single run yesterday, so do I feel comfortable backing them away from Sutter Field, which is their home park? No. Is there value at plus 177? Absolutely. I would probably lean towards more like a first 5. That way we can fade this bullpen that's absolutely terrible. Still 29th in the MLB with a 6.11 ERA. So it would be Athletics first 5 or nothing for me, but probably just going to be a nothing burger here. Just can't get behind the Yankees at this price, especially just how they've played lately. They're only 4-6 in their last 10. A's are 4-6 in their last 10. 24-16 at home. So really can't get behind that. A couple of interesting facts I'll tell you guys too, which I meant to do at the beginning, but I forgot. Kind of looking into Friday's games. Now, I say this because I go the opposite way here. So home teams on Fridays in the first game of a series are 93-67. So they're winning about 58% of the time. The under hits a little more than the over. It's 76, 78, and 6 on the over-under. Home teams, like I said, they're winning 58% of the time. That means the away teams are only winning about 41% of the time. If we look at the Reds, first game of a series at home, they're 4-1 this season. The Rockies on the road as the away team have not won a game. They are 0-5 on Fridays. Let's see, the Rangers are 2-10 to the under the first game of a series at home. So just a couple of facts there that I was looking at. Braves are 6-3 at home versus the Phillies since 2024. 2-7 towards the over-under. So I say all this because a lot of these plays are going to be counterintuitive to that. Blue Jays and the Red Sox, they've played 4 games at Fenway this season. Not a single game has gone over. So everything I'm about to tell you is going to be counter to what I just said. All right, so it's a bit contrarian today. All right, next game is going to be the Cards and the Guardians. Going to be Sonny Gray going up against Luis Ortiz. So Sonny Gray is 7-2 on the season, but his ERA on the road, not so good. He's got just south of 6 in 5 away starts. Ortiz right at a 3.00 ERA in 6 home starts. So he's been better at home than he has on the road, and Gray has been worse on the road than he has been at home. One thing the Cardinals do when Gray pitches, they give him runs, averaging 6 runs per game when he pitches. This is a Guardians team that is a bit of a coin flip offensively here. So do I trust them at a short price of plus, right around plus money? They are the home team, but they're only 20-17 at home this season. That said, the Cardinals are 18-21 on the road. They've lost 2 straight, but they are still 7-3 in their last 10. I do have the Cardinals winning this at a score of 4-3. So I would lean towards the under 8.5, but it is going to be pretty warm, and there is a 39% chance of rain, and the wind is blowing out. So all those factors I don't love. But I would lean towards the under, but the rain typically equals runs, like I say. So just a game I'm going to back off of. This is when I'll just kind of pay attention to how the money lines are shifting throughout the day, but unlikely to get a play in on this one. Just don't love the spot. The next one, Padres and the Reds. Dylan Cease going up against Nick. Likes to give up that long ball, Martinez. Martinez, just not good, man. This is a fishy fishy line. I thought the Padres were going to be like minus 165, or minus 150, but to see them at this price is a huge red flag. We do see more of the money on the Reds, but I can't back Nick Martinez. This guy is just awful. He's got a 1.23 whip, home runs per 9 at 1.36. I mean, in this weather, this guy is just a ticking time bomb to give up home runs. So I just can't get behind him. 65% of his outs come via the fly ball. He's got just south of a 4 ERA at home. That said, if you guys have watched me, I don't take Dylan Cease. It's very, very rare that I back Dylan Cease. He's got a 6.26 ERA on the road in 8 games. I want to take the over. However, the Reds just don't score runs at home. They've been winning. They're 22-18, but they just haven't been scoring runs at home. But we know this offense can just go completely anemic at a moment's notice. So you are playing a little bit with fire when you take an over. But it would be Padres or the over would be the only way I would play this game. Like I said, just can't get behind Nick Martinez. He is just dreadfully bad. But there's some, statistics. Like I said, the Reds are 4-1 the first game of a series on Friday. So they've done pretty well. All right, next game is going to be Toronto and Boston. This is one of those contrarian plays where they've played 4 games so far this year. They haven't hit the over yet. That said, they were very early in the season in much cooler weather. It is going to be 68 degrees with a 7-mile-an-hour wind that's going to be slightly blowing out. We've got Jose Barrios going up against Brian Bayo. Both of these guys right around a 3.5 ERA, home and away respectively. Pretty much the same ERA in general. I just like runs in this one. I think Toronto should be able to get to Bayo. I think Boston's able to get to Barrios. So give me runs, and runs. I do have this pretty much right at 4.5 to 4 in favor of Toronto. So we're right at that 8.5 spot. So I do like the over in this game. All right, next one is good. And if I had to pick a team, I'd pick Toronto. Next game is going to be Minnesota and Detroit. Not sure who's pitching for Minnesota. I think it's going to be David Festa, but no one's been announced. Sawyer Gipson-Long pitching for Detroit. Sawyer generally does not start the game, so we might see someone like a Brant Herter, Tyler Holton, one of those guys as an opener here. You got to kind of back the Tigers at home. They're just outstanding in the first game of a series at home, and you generally want to take the over. The over hits a lot in the Tigers' first game of a series, so it would be Twins and Tigers over 8.5 as the only way I would play this, and lean Tigers on the money line. I haven't really seen any prices yet, though. Okay, so minus 112. That's reasonable, very reasonable. Give me Detroit minus 112. Twins coming off a huge win yesterday, scoring those 10 runs. So I like them to have some regression back to the mean. Tigers at home have been outstanding, 28-13 on the season. But like I said, I don't love Sawyer Gipson-Long. Let me be clear about that. He can definitely get tagged up a little bit. He's got a 1.53 home runs per 9, but if it's David Festa, got 1.74. He's got a whip of 1.61. So as long as it's Festa going, I'm in on the Tigers. So that's one that if that happens, I will definitely be betting on the Tigers today. All right, next game is going to be the Phillies and the Braves. Mick Abel going up against Bryce Elder. Elder on the season 2-4, giving up a 2.64 opponent average, 4.77 ERA. That does decrease slightly to 4.40 in 6 home starts. Mick Abel's 2-1, 2.53 opponent average, 1.74 ERA on the road. That said, he's getting hit pretty hard by lefties, 2.93 to lefties, but only 2.14 to righties. Same thing I've been saying. His hard hit percentage scares the hell out of me. Did lose his last game, but we've got this Braves team. I don't love where their bullpen's at. I don't love how they're playing. The Phillies are coming off a really bad series where they got swept by the Astros, didn't hardly score any runs. The whole world is going to be on the Braves. Give me the Phillies. I will take the Phillies on the money line. They're away from that terrible park that's difficult to score runs. They're going to be at Truist Park. It's going to be 87 degrees, slight wind blowing out. There is a 23% chance of precipitation, but I like the Phillies here at plus money. They're second in the division. Braves are third. This is a pretty key series for them. I do think they step up and show up today. Over-under is 9. I would lean towards the over. Not sure if I actually get behind it. These are two teams that generally kind of move towards the under. So it's the Phillies for me as the official play. Next game is going to be the Giants and the White Sox. Aaron Civale for the White Sox going up against Landon Roop. I will tell you, White Sox 17-23 at home. They have not lost on a Friday. They are 5-0 at home this season. So is there value taking them? This would have to be a little higher for me, if I'm being honest. We can see a pretty heavy split here on the Giants, but I'm not paying for the Giants at this price. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They just got swept by the Marlins at home. Then they've got to travel all the way to Chicago. I don't love this spot for them. White Sox had the day off, so I do give the advantage to the White Sox here. Aaron Civale is a veteran, should keep them in this game. It's going to be 88 degrees with an 11-mile-an-hour wind. That's going to be slightly blowing out, and we've got an over-under of 8.5, so I would lean towards the over. So I would play the over, and then it's going to be White Sox on the run line. Would be the only other way I'd play that. Next game, Seattle and Texas. Logan Gilbert going up against Nathan Eovaldi. Gilbert still kind of rounding back into form, but I think he's starting to really kind of get back to his ways here. He's got 40 innings under his belt now. He's got 60 Ks, so striking out 1.5 per inning. Absolutely crushing it on the Ks. Now this Texas team doesn't strike out a ton, though. I think this should be a really good game. Should be a low-scoring game. We've got an over-under of 7.5. Like I said, the Texas Rangers are 2-10 to the under in the first game of a series. So it would be Mariners or the under for me. A little scary taking the Mariners after the lack of offense the past couple games, but I do think they bounce back. Eovaldi's been a stud at home, though. He's got a 1.75 ERA and 5 home starts. So, like I said, first preference would be the under, and then I would go Mariners on the money line. All right, Dodgers and the... Oh, wait, we're skipping ahead here. All right, Colorado and Milwaukee. So this is going to be Kyle Freeland going up against Jose Quintana. Yeah, I think the line opened at 8.5. Let's see, it's still 8.5. If I could get an under 9, which it looks like it actually did jump up to 9 on DraftKings, I would kind of lean towards that. That said, Kyle Freeland's, he's not good, man. He's 1-8. He's given up a 3.15 opponent average, but he's been much better when you get him outside of Coors Field. He's got a 3.64 ERA and 7 starts. Jose Quintana not been great at home. He's got a 5.85 ERA and 4 home starts, giving up a 3.04 average to lefties, 2.32 to righties. Freeland's the same thing, struggling against lefties, giving up a 3.64 average, but he's been decent against righties. Not a K guy. Neither of these guys are really K guys. So this is one. I do think there's a slight angle. That said, the Brewers have been hitting lefties pretty decent. So plus 170 is not enough juice for me, but Colorado plus 1.5 could be an option here. I don't know why. I guess I'm just seeing road teams today, but do I actually have the balls to put money on the Rockies? Probably not. All right, Dodgers and the Royals. So this one is going to be Dustin May going up against Noah Cameron. Cameron's got a 3.09 ERA at home in 4 starts. We did see him get shelled by the Yankees. I think the Dodgers probably do the same thing. I don't know if they get to him to that degree, but this is still a Dodgers team that hits lefties extremely well. I think it's a good spot for Dustin May. Fading the Royals at home has been pretty profitable. 19-22 on the season. Royals have lost 5 straight. Dodgers have won 4 straight, 8-2 in their last 10. Give me Dustin May over 3.5 Ks at minus 140 as my best bet in this game. That line's just too low for the big Genge, so that's the spot I'm taking there. Next one is going to be the Cubbies and the Astros. Cade Horton going up against the lefty Brandon Walter. Now, Cubbies hit okay against lefties, I would say middle of the road. I think Cade Horton does pretty good today. That said, Brandon Walter's been really good in 1 start at home, but I'm not going to bank everything off of that. I think the Cubs get to him. Astros have won 4 straight. They are a very, very good home team. They're 30-13, so probably the best home record in baseball. Without looking through every team, that's pretty damn impressive. That said, give me the Cubs. Give me the Cubs on the money line. I do like this spot for him. I think Cade Horton is the better pitcher. I think they have the better bullpen. So I think we take them in this spot here. They also have the rest, right? So they got the travel, get rested in. So I do like the spot. So give me the Cubs on the money line. I do think this line will move away from us. It's currently minus 105 or 104 on FanDuel. So it's actually definitely dropping the other way. We can see more money on Houston. So again, just contrarian plays that might go against the public today, but I like the spots. And let's see, what do we got next? Last, we got 2 more games. All right, Nats and the Angels. So this one's going to be Jake Irvin going up against Jose Soriano. Soriano hasn't been great at home. Irvin hasn't been great on the road. It screams just take the 8.5. It's going to be 75 degrees with a 7-mile-an-hour wind blowing out. It's just 2 offenses. Nats offense is just a little too sporadic for me. And the fact Soriano is such a prolific ground ball pitcher, I don't love this spot. Not paying this price for the Angels, so it would be Nationals or nothing for me here. Just don't know if I can actually back Jake Irvin. That's a pretty scary person to back, so I guess over or Nationals here. Last game on the card is going to be the Marlins and the D-backs. Yuri Perez making his 3rd start. Just hasn't looked good. I guess this would be his 4th start, actually. But he hasn't looked good on the road. 6.43 in 2 games. Merrill Kelly, pretty decent at home with a 3 ERA in 8 starts. I don't love the pitch mix here for Yuri Perez. That said, I think the Fish probably do some fish things and pull off an upset or something here. I'm going to fade this game. There's not enough value to take the Marlins at plus 1.5, which is where I was originally leaning. So it would be the over for me. I just can't pay this price for this D-backs team. This back half of this bullpen just scares the hell out of me. Maybe you could do D-backs first 5. Yeah, D-backs first 5 minus a half a run. But like I said, it would be the over or the Marlins plus 1.5 is the only way I would play that game. All right, let's get into our best bets. Get you guys on your way. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. First game, or first play, I should say. Toronto and Boston over 8.5. Like I said, Barrios and Bayo. I just don't see these teams not getting to one of these guys pretty hard. Next one's going to be the Phillies on the money line. I'll take Abel over Elder. Elder's just not a dude I can back. He does pitch to contact. He usually doesn't strike out a ton of guys, so give me the Phillies here. Bounce back after a really rough series against the Astros. Like I said, I think if you wait, you'll probably get better line here. The public's going to back the Braves after that Phillies series in Houston. Give me the Rays on the money line. We're fading Sugano. Pepio's looked fantastic on the road. Rays offense has been hot, so I like this spot here for them. Give me the Cubs on the money line. This is going to be a contrarian play. Again, if you wait, you can probably get this at plus money. I just think Cade Horton is the better pitcher over Brandon Walter, and I'll back their offense and bullpen. So I like the spot. And our last play is going to be Dustin May over 3.5 Ks. It's juiced at minus 140. Another play you can take is Dodgers on the run line. I don't mind that. I do think they get to Noah Cameron. Or you can take Dodgers -1 to be safe. That's going to be right around minus 135. But we're going to back old Dustin May here with our pitcher prop of the day here. So appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. Let's keep the good vibes going. Let's keep the winning streak going. More importantly, give that video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below with your favorite plays, and I'll catch you in the next video.